Good afternoon. David McKinley here with another devotion from Central Schwenkfelder Church. This weekend we're going to be continuing our sermon series on Rebecca McLaughlin's book, Confronting Christianity. And the sermons deal with different biblical passages that answer the questions that Ms. McLaughlin presents. And one of the questions that she presents is, doesn't religion hinder morality? And to treat that question, I'm looking at Luke chapter 10, verses 25 and following, which is the story of Jesus addressing the question from the lawyer and eventually telling the story of the Good Samaritan. Doesn't religion hinder morality? Actually, I thought that religion, specifically the Christian faith, serves to enhance our morality, that it teaches us how to love God and to love our neighbor. Jesus was approached with a question. It said, "What must I do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus said, "What does the law say?" And the lawyer said, "To love God and to love neighbor." And Jesus said, "You have read the law rightly." And then the man says, "Who is my neighbor?" Jesus then uses that as a springboard to tell the story of the Good Samaritan. And if you remember from that story, there was a man that was traveling along the road headed from Jerusalem down to Jericho, and he was jumped, he was mugged, beaten, and left for dead. And as the story goes, a priest walked by and did nothing. And then a Levite walked by and did nothing. And it wasn't until a Samaritan, the least suspecting person that would do something right in the eyes of Jewish people at that day, this Samaritan came to the man, saw him, and bound up his wounds and treated him, and then put him on his beast and led him to an inn so that the man could heal up, and paid for his bill ahead of time. And so the Samaritan showed the most love and proved to be the best neighbor to the man beaten and left for dead. Certainly the base of the Christian faith, the two greatest commandments are to love God and to love our neighbor as ourselves. And so we know that this means that we ought to have compassion across racial lines, across gender lines, that we ought to treat one another with respect and dignity. And so we learn from Jesus' story about the Good Samaritan that we find that morality is enhanced by a Christ-like character. I hope that you'll join us for worship this Sunday. We have our 9 o'clock service in our traditional service in our sanctuary at 9 a.m., and then our contemporary service in Fellowship Hall at 10:35. And I hope to see you. I hope that you're encouraged as you consider these different questions that come from McLaughlin's book. And I hope to answer this question, doesn't religion hinder morality? And I'm going to answer that no. In fact, it enhances morality as we study the life of Christ. Thank you, and may God richly bless you.